All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, great to be back.
And today things are getting a little interesting.
A little bit.
Because we're talking King Charles,
King Charles.
trade wars, and
Yeah.
possibly even like a
Constitutional crisis.
constitutional crisis.
This is a big one.
Yeah, like this could really shake up like the whole Commonwealth.
Absolutely. The Commonwealth, yeah.
So this isn't just any old trade dispute. Like this is about a guy who's the head of state for the UK and Canada.
Exactly.
And he might get dragged into the middle of it all.
It's fascinating.
So we're going to be taking a look at some insights from Andrew Marr.
Oh, love him.
He's the, BBC presenter from way back.
Classic.
And then also we've got Robert Hazel.
Yes.
Who's a constitutional expert.
Yes, at UCL.
At UCL. So
They're great sources.
yeah, I mean, when Trump first said he wanted to make Canada the 51st state,
I remember that.
I thought it's just a joke.
Like what?
Like just something to get people talking.
Oh, totally.
But then he slapped on these tariffs.
Right. 25% on Canadian import.
25%, yeah.
Huge.
And that's when things got real.
That's a trade war?
A full-on trade war, yeah.
Yeah.
And Canada fought back, too.
Oh, of course.
But they didn't just, like, hit back randomly.
No, they were very strategic.
They went right for industries in states controlled by Republicans.
Interesting.
Applying some serious political pressure on Trump.
Oh, yeah, playing the game.
And this is where things get a little crazy.
Okay.
The British government,
Right.
they can just stay neutral.
Yeah, just sit it out.
But King Charles,
Huh?
he can't.
He can't.
He's the head of state for both
Exactly.
the UK and Canada.
In the Constitution.
He's got to represent both of them.
Absolutely.
Andrew Marr.
Oh, yeah.
He called the whole thing a bit rum.
He did.
And I think he's right.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation.
Like, has this ever happened before? Like, has a monarch ever had to deal with this kind of
conflict between two countries they rule?
Yeah.
It's pretty unprecedented. I mean, modern monarchs don't really have that kind of power anymore.
Right.
Their role is mostly symbolic.
Right.
But there have been times when monarchs have stepped in to mediate disputes.
Yeah.
Using their influence and personal relationships to smooth things over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Robert Hazel.
Oh, yes.
He thinks that the Canadian government might actually ask King Charles
to intervene
to talk to Trump.
Interesting.
And try to sort this whole thing out.
And Trump does admire the royal family.
Yeah. He loves the royals.
Yeah.
So maybe this is one of those times when symbolic power turns into something real.
It could happen.
Like real action.
But any intervention would have to be super delicate.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's a diplomatic tightrope walk.
I mean, it's not like he'd be representing the UK government.
Oh, no. He'd be acting with the Canadian government,
Right.
but also keeping in mind all the other Commonwealth realms.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So it's not just two countries.
No.
Like
15 countries where he's head of state.
That's insane.
It's a lot to juggle.
Like, how much power does the monarch actually have?
Yeah, that's the question.
In these situations.
Exactly.
And then you've got all these UK politicians
You're right.
handling Trump in different ways.
Totally different approaches.
Keir Starmer.
Yeah, the prime minister.
He's being super careful. Like, even when Trump talked about buying Greenland from Denmark.
Wow.
Denmark's a UK ally.
Yeah, close ally.
And Starmer didn't really say anything.
Interesting.
Like, he's just tiptoeing around the whole thing.
It seems like his strategy is all about keeping things cool with the U.S.
Yeah.
Maybe get a good trade deal, avoid those tariffs.
Right.
It's pragmatic.
Yeah.
But some people might see it as, like, giving in to Trump.
Yeah, appeasing him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you've got Ed Beatty.
Oh, yeah, the Liberal Democrat leader.
He didn't hold back at all.
Nope.
He straight up called Trump a playground bully.
Wow. Strong word.
And said the UK needs to stand up to him.
Yeah.
Not just for themselves, but for Canada, too.
Because of their shared history and head of state.
Exactly.
He's making a point about solidarity.
Right.
Like, this trade war could really damage the U.S. and the UK's relationship.
So where does this leave us, like, for you listening right now?
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do you make of all this?
We're in uncharted territory here.
Absolutely.
Could King Charles
be
forced to pick a side?
That's the big question.
Like, no monarch in recent history has had to do that.
Right.
And what does all of this say about how power is shifting between these countries?
It's a fascinating case study.
And what about the Commonwealth?
Yeah.
What does this mean for its future?
Good question.
We've just started to look into this.
Yeah, we're just scratching the surface. But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
The monarchy in the 21st century it's way more complicated.
It is.
And has way more impact than most people realize.
Absolutely. I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yeah. Lots to think about.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.